If your goal is to build financial freedom, you're calculating the wrong risk. You know what quitting your job could cost you? Have you calculated what it costs you to stay? By the end of this video, I want you to be able to answer one question. What could another 10 years of your life cost you? Before you ever leave a paycheck, I want you to know what 3 things should be costing you. The third one is where most people get burned. When you start thinking about starting a new business, your mind immediately goes to the downside. What if it fails? What if you lost your entire life savings? What if the customers don't come? Those risks are definitely real, but those risks are also visible. Say that you make $80,000 a year. Let's say over the next 10 years with modest raises, you could make $1 million. And that's real money. But here's a bigger question. What will you own within those next 10 years? If you're investing and you're buying assets or receiving equity, or if you're even building something on the side, great. Then a job absolutely can help you build wealth. But if your strategy is simply just get paid, go to the next paycheck, and repeat, you're building income rather than ownership. And that is definitely a big cost that most people miss. Now look 10 years ahead into the future, and maybe you are actually earning more money. You likely have a better title as well. But if you stopped working today, does that income also stop? Do you actually own anything producing value without you having to work another hour? Do you actually have more options? Because your job might not be costing you those today, but it might be costing you freedom later. And this is where safe gets misunderstood. Predictability isn't safe. A paycheck feels safe because it's predictable, but predictability and safe aren't the same thing. A paycheck can definitely do things like save you from a bad month for the business, but it does not protect you from a bad decade. Companies restructure, industries change, people definitely get replaced, and nothing dramatic happens at all. You just simply wake up 10 years older, still depending on the same source for your income. Business failure is loud. The cost of staying is quiet. It slowly changes you 1 year at a time. I learned this by building my own businesses. When I started my businesses, I didn't have massive operations behind me. I just had one old van, a couple of tools, and no guarantee that the phone was gonna ring. There were definitely times when a paycheck would have been way safer, but I learned something significant. Income disappears when you spend it. Ownership can make yesterday's work keep going. Every customer that I've earned, every system that we built together, every person that we have trained, every good job that only strengthened our reputation, the work and the reputation just keep accumulating. And just years later, the business has been doing over $1 million a year. But the biggest lesson wasn't the revenue. That yesterday's work and reputation can make tomorrow easier. That's what ownership changes. This is where motivational advice becomes dangerous. I'm definitely not telling you to go into work and quit tomorrow, but do use that paycheck to your advantage. Let the income keep paying for all the bills while you build your exit strategically. And before you leave, know 3 numbers. Number 1, your survival number. What does your life cost you every single month? Housing, food, insurance, debt, I mean everything. If you don't know what your life costs you monthly, you don't know what freedom costs you. Number 2, your replacement number. How much does what you're building need continuously to produce to be able to replace your existing life? Before leaving makes sense. Not just one lucky month somehow, and definitely not just one giant customer. Consistently set the number, know the math before the emotions get involved. Someday isn't a strategy. A number gives you the line that you need to cross. Number 3, your runaway. This is where people get burned. What happens when your business is going to have a terrible month? Or 3 or 5 or 7? How long can you survive before you have to make desperate decisions? 3 months, 6 months, 9? Being able to quit isn't the same as being ready to quit. Freedom requires margin. Otherwise, you haven't escaped dependency. You've only just changed who's signed the paycheck. Build before you need it. So build while you're still employed. Nights, weekends, early mornings, late nights. Whatever your life will allow before you get completely burned out. Learn to sell and find high-value customers. Build the skills you need to upgrade and create the systems so everything can flow smoothly. Stop only working on your future when you feel motivated. Your business will not allow you to only work on it when you feel motivated. There's a phrase that you own the business until the business owns you, and then you have to have all the systems and so forth in place to be able to have the freedom to be able to step back. You have to be able to have those employees and so forth that can work good and know how to make decisions, know what's required, know what needs to be done. Now, obviously, you can't always have that 100% because stuff is going to blow up, stuff is going to go sideways, the paychecks don't come in, whatever you can imagine, it will happen sooner or later. If you want your side business to become your job someday, you have to schedule it and work it like it's your job now. Customers want you on their time schedule. And that might be when you're on vacation or when you want to sleep. Because what gets scheduled gets built. Here's where the equation is now going to flip. At first, leaving your job looks like a gamble. And so very often, it actually is. But eventually, another gamble in life looks visible. 5 years of doing nothing different. Then 10, then 20. Betting that the ceiling above you is somehow going to disappear. So then the question changes. Not if I will try and fail, but the regret of not trying. And now we can answer the question from the beginning of the video. What could another 10 years cost you? Not 10 years of salary. You can earn plenty. It could cost you 10 years of ownership. 10 years of learning, 10 years of customers, 10 years of systems, 10 years of compounding reputation or investment that works for you. Most importantly, 10 years of options you could have been building the whole time. That's an invisible bill that you're missing. Your job isn't the enemy. Use it to your advantage. Let it fund the beginnings of your new life. Let it fund your education or finance what you're building currently. But do not confuse today's paycheck with your entire life strategy. The goal is not necessarily to quit your job. The goal is to build enough income, ownership, and options that will eventually give you freedom, options, choices. You don't have to stay anywhere you don't want to be. So calculate the 3 numbers I've given you. Then ask a 4th question. What will another 10 years of not building something cost me? Don't just recklessly quit. Build your future intelligently, but don't mistake just staying still for safety. Follow. Give a number in the comments. How many months would you need to be able to have it replace your life? And if you know somebody that this video could really help, share it with them. And through motivation, through education, through mentorship, we are all out there upgrading ourselves to strive and have more in life because we are building extraordinary lives.